The queen who fell without a sound the throne hall of the Varellan Empire was silent. Not because of respect, but because of shock. Thousands had gathered to hear Queen Velshara speak. She stood tall in her shining armor, her crown glowing. Like a small sun, her voice was strong, her presence powerful. For over 30 years, she had ruled this alien empire with wisdom and strength. But now, something was wrong. In the middle of her speech, her hand touched her chest. She paused. 1 second passed. 2. Then she gasped and collapsed. No one moved at first. No one believed it. The most powerful being in the empire had fallen, without a wound, without a sound. Guards rushed to her side. Healers followed. Her body was shaking. Her breath came in sharp, broken sounds. Her skin turned pale blue. Eyes wide open, but unfocused. Poison? One of the generals shouted. Energy overload? A medic guessed. No, said another. No traces, no blast, no impact. The queen was dying. And no one knew why. High above, in the observation platform, stood human Dr. Elias Quinn. He was not a soldier. He was not royalty. He was a peace mission medic, sent from Earth months ago to observe and learn. But now, he rushed down the stairs without waiting for permission. Get away from her, he shouted as he reached the throne. Weapons pointed at him from all sides. She is the queen. A soldier barked. Step back, human. I've seen this before. Elias shouted. It's not poison. It's a heart attack. The alien healers looked at each other in confusion. The word meant nothing to them. What is heart attack? One asked. Elias dropped to his knees beside the queen. Her heart is seizing up. It's not beating right. She needs immediate help. Human help. A healer leaned close. We used every method. Our machines failed. Because you're treating the wrong thing, Elias said. You're treating alien diseases. But this isn't that. He opened his emergency kit. Let me do this, or she dies. The guards looked to each other, then to the royal advisor. Finally, one of them gave a slow nod. Elias went to work. He placed his hands on her chest. Started. Pressing in a fast, steady rhythm. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Again. He spoke softly, almost like a prayer. Come on, don't let this be how it ends. The alien crowd watched in complete silence. They had never seen this method. It looked brutal. It looked desperate. But slowly, her breathing changed. Her chest moved. Then her fingers twitched. Elias pressed again, and again. Suddenly the queen gasped. Her eyes flew open. Her body shook with life. And then she breathed. Alive. Truly alive. Elias fell back, breathing hard. The guards lowered their weapons, shocked. The royal healer scanned her body. Her heart had returned to rhythm. No poison. No wound. Just survival. She lives, the healer whispered. She lives. Another shouted. The room exploded with cries and confusion. But Queen Velshara only looked at one person. Elias. Her voice was weak, but clear. You saved me. He nodded. Your body had a condition. One we know well on Earth. It's called a heart attack. She closed her eyes for a moment. No one else knew. No, Elias said. They couldn't. But I've seen it too many times before. In humans. One of the generals stepped forward. You will explain how you knew. You will explain everything. Elias stood tall. Gladly. But first, she needs rest. And if you want to keep her alive, you'll listen. The queen lifted a hand. Let him speak. No one touches him. The court fell silent again. But this time with respect. They had just witnessed something no one expected. The mighty queen of the Varellan Empire had been saved not by her soldiers, not by her scientists, but by a human someone they had looked down upon. But the real question remained. Why did her alien heart fail in a human way? And why did the human know how to fix it? The human who dared touch royalty. The news spread like wildfire. The queen lives because of a human. Some cheered. Most did not. Inside the crystal healing chamber, Queen Valshara rested. Her breath had steadied. Her heart, though, still weak beat on its own. She was alive. But outside that chamber, the royal court burned with questions. Is he a spy? Did he cause it, just to fix it? No alien healer could save her. But he did? Too convenient. Dr. Elias Quinn sat in a high-security room, alone. 2 guards stood outside. No window. Just silence. He tapped his fingers on the table and whispered, "Figures. Save a life. Get locked up." The door opened with a cold hiss. A tall figure stepped in. General Miran, commander of the Queen's elite guard. His eyes glowed with suspicion. His voice was flat. "You touched Her Highness. You performed violent, untested actions in front of the Empire." "I performed CPR," Elias replied. "And I saved her life." The general didn't flinch. "You are not Varellan. You're not even royalty. Do you understand the crime of laying hands on a queen?" Elias leaned forward. "Do you understand what a heart attack is?" Silence. Elias took a breath. "It's when your heart, it's blocked or breaks rhythm. If help doesn't come fast, it kills. Not with lasers, not with poison, just silence inside." "You speak boldly," the general growled. "I speak truthfully." Elias said, "What happened to your queen?" "It's common in my species, but I didn't know it could happen to yours." That's what's strange. At that moment, the door opened again. A new figure entered. Not a soldier. The queen herself. Her steps were slow, but steady. Her crown was gone, but her power remained. Everyone inside stood immediately. She looked straight at Elias. "You did what none of my healers could," she said softly. "You stopped death, without fear." Elias stood too, but carefully. "I couldn't just watch. Where I'm from, we help people first. Ask permission later." The queen gave a small smile. "And what if you failed?" "Then I would have been executed, I guess," Elias said, shrugging. "But I would have known I tried." General Miran frowned. "He acted without royal command." "And I thank him for it," the queen replied. "He was the only one who understood what Mahdi was doing. That matters more than rank." Elias asked, "Do you remember what happened?" "I remember pain," she said. "A feeling I've never known. My chest, my blood, it all turned against me. But when I woke up, your hands were still pressing. You didn't leave me." "No, I don't leave patients behind." The queen nodded. Then she turned to her guards. "Release him. No chains, no threats. From this moment forward, he walks under my protection." Gasps filled the hallway. Elias blinked. "Wait, what?" "You will stay in the palace," she said. "You will teach my doctors, and you will study why this happened. Are you sure?" General Miran whispered, "The people will see it as weakness. They will see it as truth," she said. "I trust this human. And if others fear him, let them." Elias exhaled. "I'll need medical tools, blood samples, full access to your medical scans. You will have it," she said. "Whatever you need." She stepped closer to him. "Because I believe my body is telling us something ancient, something hidden in my blood." Elias met her eyes. "You think this wasn't random?" "No," she said. "I think it's a message. Cliffhanger ending. Far away, in a dark chamber lit by floating crystals, a shadowed alien watched a screen. On it, Queen Valshara. Alive again." The figure growled. He healed her? Another voice replied. The human broke the prophecy. She was not meant to survive. The first voice hissed. Then we changed the plan. The queen rested quietly on a floating bed of light. Alien machines hummed softly around her. Blue lines pulsed on her skin. Scans moved through her veins, her heart, her bones. Every part of her was being studied by both alien and human technology. Elias. Quinn stood beside the console, arms crossed. I've run her heart data through both Earth's medical AI and your Empire's system, he told the lead alien healer. And both say the same thing, this isn't normal. The healer tilted his head. Her heart was always strong. It carried the royal bond. That's the thing, Elias said. It's not just strong. It's changing. The alien narrowed his eyes. Explain. Elias pointed to the scan. You see this chamber in her heart? The inner wall used to be smooth. Now it's forming tiny branches like human arteries. And the blood flow pattern? It looks like a human rhythm. The healer stepped back, disturbed. That's not possible. Elias nodded. I thought so too. Until I found this. He brought up an older scan from 10 years ago, pre-recorded in the Queen's medical log. No branches, no human pattern. Pure Virellan structure. But now, Elias said, her heart's rewriting itself. The healer whispered, she's becoming something else. Just then, a soft voice spoke behind them. I already know. They turned to see Queen Velshara awake. Her voice was calm but cold. I felt it inside me before I fell. The pulse was wrong. It wasn't mine. Elias stepped closer. You weren't poisoned. You're evolving. She looked down at her chest. That's why the royal bond cracked. My heart rejected it, because it's not only Virellan anymore. Exactly, Elias said. But I don't think it's a random mutation. She met his eyes. You think someone did this? On purpose? Elias nodded slowly. Maybe decades ago. Maybe during birth. But someone altered your genetics, probably at the level no one ever noticed. The healer shook his head. Impossible. The queen is born of pure royal blood. But Elias tapped the screen again. Not anymore. And here's the strangest part. He zoomed in on a small section of her DNA sequence. This marker, he said, isn't alien. It's human. The room fell silent. Queen Velshara whispered, You're telling me I have human blood? Elias replied, Not your full blood, just one part. A small section hidden in your heart's code, silent for years, but something triggered it. And now it's active. Vel leaned back. So this is not an illness. It's an awakening. Elias nodded. Your body is trying to do what it was secretly built for. Change, combine, evolve. The queen stood slowly. Her strength had returned. Why now? She asked. Why would it activate after all these years? Elias didn't answer right away. Then he said, Sometimes genetics need a key, something to unlock them. He looked her in the eyes. Maybe that key was me. Vel stepped back, shocked. You think my body reacted to your presence? I don't know for sure, but the timing matches. You never had contact with humans before, but once I arrived within weeks, your heart broke down and rebuilt itself. Velshara turned to the healer. Has anyone ever studied my DNA fully? The healer hesitated. Only once. Before your coronation. The files are sealed. Unseal them, she ordered. I can't, the healer whispered. That level of access belongs only to the Council of Origins. Elias frowned. Who are they? Vel answered, voice tight. A secret branch of the royal bloodline. Their job is to protect the Empire's beginning and hide dangerous truths. She turned toward the exit. If they knew I carried human code, They've lied to me my whole life. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the palace. Red lights flashed. Doors sealed. A voice rang out. All security to Sector 9. A data vault has been breached. Elias and Vel looked at each other. Someone's trying to erase it, Elias said. They know we're getting close. Velshara's voice turned. Sharp. Then let them come. If they feared what I'm becoming, they should have killed me long ago. She stepped forward, glowing faintly with inner light. And for the first time in her reign, she no longer felt like just a queen. She felt like a beginning. The palace felt colder than usual. Not because of weather, but because of fear. Queen Velshara stood at her balcony, overlooking the city of towers. Her guards stood below. Her people carried on. But she felt it now, the eyes watching her, the whispers behind closed doors. Ever since Elias found the human DNA in her blood, everything had changed. Even her council had changed. Your Majesty, said General Mirren, stepping beside her. Several noble houses are requesting your medical reports. She didn't turn. So they can confirm the rumors. They say. It's for security, he replied. Vel gave a small, bitter smile. When they say security, they mean power. They want to know if their queen is still pure. General Mirren stayed silent. He didn't deny it. She turned to him. Tell me something, General. If I am no longer fully Varellan, would you still fight for me? He hesitated. I serve the crown. She stared at him. That is not what I asked. Before he could reply, a palace guard rushed in. Queen Velshara. The human Dr. Elias. He's under attack. Scene shift. Elias under fire lies, stumbled through the crystal garden. Plasma bolts zipped past his head. He ducked behind a glowing stone wall, heart pounding. Well, that escalated fast. Two masked attackers moved through the trees. Fast, quiet, trained. Elias pulled out his emergency beacon. Broken. Crushed. During the chase. Figures. Just then a shadow fell over him. One of the assassins raised a blade. But before the strike came out, flash of silver slashed through the air. Vel, single quotes Shara. She moved like lightning. Her blade hummed with energy. One attacker fell. The other ran, but her guard tackled him before escape. Elias stared. Remind me never to make you angry. She helped him up. You were almost erased. He nodded. Yeah, someone clearly didn't like my test results. They stood over the masked attacker. Velshara ripped off the helmet, the face beneath. It was familiar. A member of her royal council. Her voice dropped. You? The traitor spat. You are no longer fit to rule. You carry their blood. Their blood saved my life, she said, and nearly cost you yours. She stood tall, her voice echoing. I am Varellan, but I carry something more. That does not make me weaker. It makes me wider. Elias stepped forward. They don't. Fear your weakness. They fear your change. The traitor hissed, the bloodline must stay pure. Velshara looked him in the eye. Then you fight for the past. I fight for what comes next. She turned to Elias. Come. I won't hide. Any more. Scene shift. Royal court gathering within hours. The Queen called an emergency court meeting. Every noble house attended. Soldiers lined the walls. The room buzzed with tension. Velshara stood before them, armor gleaming, cape dragging behind her. Elias stood beside her. Out of place, but not afraid. You all know why I've summoned you, Velshara began. There is fear in this room, fear of what I am becoming. One counselor stood. With respect, Your Majesty, we must know. Are you still Varellan? I am, she said. But not only. She looked across the room. I carry a code inside me. A living signal. Human. Dormant till recently. And now it grows. I feel it changing my body, yes, but also my mind, my heart, my sight. Murmurs filled the room. Elias stepped forward. She didn't choose this, but it may be the reason she survived something no Varellan ever did. Another counselor stood. If this change continues, what will you become? Vel's voice did not shake. I will become something this galaxy has never seen. A bridge, a bond, a queen who carries more than one world in her blood. A long silence followed. Then she raised her sword. If anyone here believes I am unfit to rule, step forward. No one moved. She turned to Elias. Prepare the lab. We're finishing the tests. I want the full truth about where this code came from. He nodded. You think it was planted? I think it was hidden, she said, by someone who feared what I might be. Someone, maybe even close. Final scene. A hidden hand in a dark chamber, far from the palace. A small group gathered around a flickering hologram of the queen. She is stronger than expected. One voice whispered. The human accelerated the reaction. Another said, we should have cut her heart out when we had the chance. A third voice growled. The first one replied, no, let the bloodline finish blooming. Why? The others asked. Because once she becomes what we designed, we will take it from her. In the palace's deep medical wing, bright lights flickered across glass walls. Machines whirred quietly. Screens displayed heartbeats, DNA strands, and pulsing molecular chains. Elias Quinn hadn't slept in 20 hours. He stood at the center table, mixing two glowing liquids, one red, one silver. His hands were steady, but his eyes were full of worry. Behind him, Queen Valshara watched. This is it? She asked. The cure? Elias didn't look up. It's not a cure. It's a bridge. She stepped closer. Explain. He turned to face her. Your body is fighting itself. One half Varellan, one half human code. The problem isn't the change, it's the clash. She nodded slowly. And this will stop it? It might, Elias said. Or it might speed it up. I'm mixing alien regenerative fluid with human stem code. We've never tested this. Not on anyone. Especially not royalty. The queen tilted her head. Have you used it on yourself? Elias smiled faintly. No, but I did once test it. On a dying plant. And it grew into something no botany lab could name. Valshara laughed a quiet, tired sound. You're brave, human. No, Elias said. You are. Because you're going to inject this, not knowing what happens next. She looked at the vile dot, then without hesitation, picked it up. You don't want to run one more test? He asked. She shook her head. My enemies already believe I'm weak. If this works, I show them strength. If it doesn't, I won't fade quietly. Elias connected the vial to a wrist injector. The fluid inside shimmered like light caught in water. I built this to heal, not to crown anyone, he said. I don't need a crown, Val replied. Only time. She pressed the injector against her wrist and activated it. The serum entered her body. For a moment, nothing dot, then her breath hitched. Her back arched. Her heart monitor began to scream. Vitals. Dropping. Elias shouted. Her heart, no. Wait, it's shifting rhythm. Valshara collapsed to her knees, gripping her chest. Her veins glowed. Blue at first, then silver, then gold. Elias grabbed a stabilizer, but before he could use it, she spoke. Don't touch me. Her voice was loud, filled with energy, not pain. Powered out, her skin shimmered. Her eyes lit up, one gold, one violet. Then it stopped. She took a deep breath and stood up. The machine stopped screaming. The room went silent. Elias stared. You're okay? I'm better than okay, she said. She looked at her hand. Sparks of golden light danced on her skin. I feel everything, she whispered. The past, the future, the connection between your world and mine. Elias blinked. Your heart rate, it's perfect. Your energy levels are off the charts. Vel smiled. The bridge held. The war inside me ended. She stepped toward the window. The city below looked peaceful, unaware of what had just happened. Elias followed. This isn't just a cure. It's evolution. The first of its kind, but not the last, Vel said. What's inside me could change everything. Just then, the doors opened. General Mirren entered, eyes wide. My queen! There's been a message. What kind? She asked. From the Council of Origins. They've ordered your removal. They say you are no longer the same ruler who was crowned. Elias stepped forward. You saved your own life. You ended the civil war in your body. They can't punish you for that. But Vel Shara was calm. They fear what I've become. Because they cannot control it. Elias asked, what will you do? She turned to him. I will face them. Not as a broken queen, not as a weapon, but as a new beginning. Final scene. Whispered warning far away. In the high citadel of the Council of Origins, robed figures gathered. She survived the bridge, one said. The code is now complete. Another replied, then the test is over. Activate the second phase. What of the human? A third asked. He is no longer a helper, the elder said. He is her anchor. Remove him, and she may still fall. The great chamber of the Council of Origins had not opened for 100 years. It was deep below the capital, hidden behind layers of stone and memory. Only the queen herself could summon the council. Today, she did. Queen Vel Shara stood at the center of the round chamber, dressed in silver robes with no crown. Her eyes glowed with soft gold light. Her presence shook the room, not with noise, but with calm power. Elias stood beside her. Guards behind them. Silence ahead. The council sat in shadowed chairs. 12 elders. 12 voices of ancient tradition. One elder spoke. You summoned us, Vel Shara, but you no longer rule. I summoned you, she said calmly, because I still breathe, and my people still follow me. Another voice echoed. You are not the queen who was crowned. You are something else. I am something more, Vel replied, because you made me this way. A murmur ran through the elders. Elias stepped forward. You hid human code inside her. Why? The oldest counselor finally spoke. His voice was low and tired. We knew the wars would never stop. Species against species. Power against power. So we tried something different. You used me. As your experiment? Vel asked, her voice trembling. No, the elder said. We used your bloodline. Long ago. It was meant to activate only if war became unstoppable. A failsafe. And when I almost died, she said, that failsafe woke up. The elder nodded. Yes, and it worked. You survived. But now you want me removed? She asked. You're too powerful, said another elder. Your body holds both bloods. Your mind is changing. Soon no one will understand you. Vel took a breath. Then let them learn. Let them grow. Elias stepped beside her. They're not afraid of change. They're afraid of losing control. One elder stood. You are bonded to a human mind. That is a danger. No, Vel said. That is my strength. She turned. To Elias. You brought science. You brought healing. But most of all, you stayed. He nodded. I didn't come to change your empire. I came to save a life. I didn't know that life would change me too, the elders whispered. The oldest raised a hand. Then you leave us no choice. Suddenly, The room began to shift. Walls opened. A hidden chamber rose from the floor. From it, a large device emerged, dark, glowing, humming with raw energy. The reversal core, the elder said. We made it in secret. If the hybrid ever became too strong, we would use this to separate. The blood, Elias's face hardened. You'd tear her apart just to keep your history clean? She is the future, one elder replied, but not one we can allow. Velshara stepped forward. No more secrets. She raised her hands, golden. Light burst from her palms. It filled the chamber, cutting through shadow. Her voice echoed like thunder and wind. I am the Relin, and I am human. I am the crown that chose both. The reversal core began to shake. Stop! One elder shouted, but it was too late. The queens. Light spread, touching every wall, every mind. And in that light, the truth unfolded. Visions filled the room. Wars. Peace. Children of mixed blood. New cities. New unity. Not destruction. Hope. When the light faded, the elders sat in silence. Tears ran down one's face. We were wrong. Vel stepped back, her voice now soft. You built me to end wars, but I choose to begin something new. Final scene. A new legacy. Later that day, on the royal balcony, the queen stood before her people. No armor, no sword, just Elias beside her. My heart stopped. Once, she said, her voice carried through the skies. But a human saved it, not with power, with care. Crowds cheered. Across planets, screens lit up with her speech. I carry more than one blood, and I will no longer hide it. This is my empire. This is our future. She held Elias's hand. Together. Closing voiceover for YouTube. They called her the Queen of Stars. But her crown wasn't made of metal. It was made of blood shared, hidden, and finally accepted. She was never meant to survive. But she did. And the galaxy would never be the same. The E&D